Students and friends, welcome back to the Prithviraj English Academy. As we know that our social studies series is going on for the Karnataka State Board, and this is 2024, 25 and 26 syllabus for the academic year. And in this video, we are going to discuss about 9 standards, chapter number 7, State Government. So without a delay, let's start the chapter 7 of the 9th standard, State Government. So first, in a state government, already we came to know about in a union government, three organs of the government. I hope you guys will going to remember them. Okay. So their functions also you came to know. Three organs are like legislative, executive, and judiciary. Legislative will going to make a laws. Executive will going to implement them. Those laws made by the legislative, and judiciary is take care about the justice and giving a judgment. Okay, so now come to the first, what you are going to call after the lesson. After this lesson, what we will understand. Okay, after the lesson, nature of state legislature, the legislative assembly, yeah, Vidhan Sabha, and legislative council. As you know that in a union government, you came to know that in a union legislature you have the two houses. Like in a state government also, some states has a two houses in the state legislature. Okay, and some maybe have the only one house. Okay, about them you will come to know about later. Okay, and their powers and functions, and then we come to the state executive. In the state executive, governor will be there, and his powers and functions we will going to come to know, and along with him, chief minister and council of ministers powers and functions we will going to come to know. Okay, this is a this is a Vidhana Saudha. It is located in Bengaluru. Our state legislative building it is, yeah, our state legislature it is. Okay, here only our laws will going to make in a Suvarna, in a Vidhana Saudha also, and one more is in a Suvarna Saudha of Belagavi. Okay, sessions will going to took place right in Belagavi also. Okay, now come to the first. India is a union. It has 28 states and 8 union territories, as we know that. And like the central government, the state governments also have their own legislature, executive, and judiciary. As it is like a central government only, here also have the legislative, executive, and judiciary. In the legislature, what will be there? Legislative assembly will be there as a lower house, and legislative council will be there as a upper house in the Karnataka. Right, in a it is a state government. If it is suppose union government, then here it becomes parliament. In the parliament, Rajya Sabha has a upper house and Lok Sabha has a lower house. Okay, and in a executive, governor, chief minister, and state cabinet, advocate general becomes, right. But in a union, president, prime minister, and his council ministers. And in judiciary, here in a subordinate courts will becomes in a state, but in a union, Supreme Court. Okay, so this is what the comparison between them. Okay, now come to the state legislature. State legislature, yeah, Vidhana Mandala, one more name is for. Like in a union government, you have right parliament. Yeah, union legislature is called it as a parliament, no? Like that, here we are going to call it as a Vidhana Mandala, right. So in state legislature, governor will be there, legislative council will be there, and legislative assembly will be there. Okay, legislative assembly, yeah, Vidhana Sabha, members elected by the people. Legislative council, yeah, Vidhana Parishad, members represent by the various fields. Like legislative council means like a Rajya Sabha, legislative assembly means like a Lok Sabha. People will going to over there, how the members will going to elected by the people, no? Like that here also the member will going to elected by the people. Okay, so and one more thing, let me clarify you. Actually, in some states we have, yes. So before that, we'll come to know about what bicameral legislature. One thing we should be know. Then one more is unicameral unicameral legislature. So what is the meaning of these words? We should know that, right? So bicameral means, bicameral legislature means it has two houses, right? Unicameral means has one house. It has only one house. So in India, some states has bicameral legislature means they has two houses. In some state has, they have the unicameral legislature means they have only one house. So in India, only 6 states has a bicameral legislature. 6 states has a bicameral legislature, right? Those are like Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Karnataka, right? Then next one is Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Telam- Telangana, and Maharashtra. These are the state has the bicameral legislature. This state has the bicameral legislature. Remaining all the state has the unicameral. Remaining all state has the remaining all the state has unicameral legislature. This state has a bicameral legislature. Means here only we will come to know about two houses in these states, upper house and lower house. Remaining in a unicameral legislature, you have only one house, that is lower house. Lower house in a states. Okay, I hope you understanding. So now come to the Vidhana Sabha, yeah, lower house. It is going to call it as a Vidhana Sabha means it is known as a lower house, yeah, state legislature we are going to call it. Here the seats maximum it is 60. Maximum it is 60 should be there. Sorry, not maximum. Minimum it will be 60 and maximum it is 500. But some states are there like those are the small states like in a Sikkim we have only 32 seats. It is a exceptional. So now come to the about Karnataka. Now about the, this is what in general. Okay, this is what in general explanation about the Vidhana Sabha. Now come to the particularly about Karnataka. Particularly about Karnataka. In Karnataka Vidhana Sabha total 224 elected members will be there. Yeah, we are going to call them as a MLA. We are going to call them as a MLA. Sorry, MLAs. We are going to call them as a MLAs. Means M means member, L means legislative, A means assembly. Okay. How many MLAs are there in Karnataka? 224. Those are elected from the people, right? Before over there here 225 members were there, because that time one member will going to nominated by the Anglo-Indian community by the governor, but that was going to cancel now according to the article 104th amendment. Sorry, not article 104th amendment means changes act of 2020. Okay, so here the reservation there for the SC people 30 seats will be there, ST 15, and according to the 128th amendment, Nari Shakti Vandana Adhiniyama. According to that, 33% reservation will be there. 33% reservation seats will be there for the only for the women. Okay, this is what our Karnataka's Vidhana Sabha lower house, yeah, stay means Karnataka Legislative Assembly's structure. It is structure. Maybe after this lesson you have the question. Write the Vidhana Sabha structure. So this only you have to write. Okay. Now move to the qualification for the legislative members. As it is like a Lok Sabha members qualification is there, no? Same to same you have to write here, because they both are the lower house and they have the same qualifications. First is must be citizen of India. Then second one is minimum 25 years of age, not employed in any government office of profit, no criminal convictions, means they should not be sentenced by the courts, especially in a criminal, and they mentally should be good. They should not be unsound minded. Okay, not insolvent. Insolvent means bankrupt. Must meet the qualification set by the parliament time to time. Okay, these are the what qualifications. Okay, now come to the their official terms. They will be there for 5 years. Their official term is 5 years. They will be there once they are elected, means they will be there in a power for 5 years. Okay, once they elected means they will be there in a 5 years, right? Then they can before that also they can resign. Yeah, that legislative assembly only can dissolve by the governor, right, on the advice on the especially on the what you are going to call ministers, means cabinet ministers and the chief minister. Okay, cabinet's advice. Okay, members can be resigned before their official term, means 5 years. They can resign from their post to the speaker. Okay, to the speaker. Okay, and they can elect speaker and deputy speaker members, means MLAs can elect among themselves one as a speaker and one more is a deputy speaker. So what is the speaker's role? He can conduct the meetings, maintain order, protect members' rights and cast tie breaking vote. Tie breaking vote means what? When the bill maybe get a same equal vote, that time the speaker can vote either against of that bill or for of that bill. It is left to him, but that time only he can vote. Other than that, he will never vote in a legislative assemblies. Okay, now move to the next legislative powers and functions. Ordinary bills can be introduced either houses, means ordinary bills are there, no, you can either introduce in a upper house or lower house. Ordinary bills only, the financial bill has a exceptional. Okay, first point. Then second is that legislative assembly passes the bill. If suppose it is the bill may be introduced in a legislative assembly, then it will be going to pass. If it is got approval, the bill, then it will going to send to the legislative council. If suppose the bill may be ordinary bill may be first introduced in a legislative council, then if it is got approval here, then it will going to send to the legislative assembly, vice versa. Okay, so then council means legislative council must return it within a 3 months. If suppose the legislative assembly approval the bill and sent to the legislative council, then within a 3 months they have to return it to the legislative assembly, who legislative council, with or without changes. If they want, they can suggest the changes. If they don't want, then also, but within a 3 months they have to return it for the first time. But if it is resent by the assembly after, means once they return within a 3 months, then second time also it got approval in a legislative assembly and they sent to the legislative council. That time they can return it within a 1 month. They can return it within a 1 month, not more than that time. First time they have the 3 months of power to return it within a 3 months. Second time within a 1 month. So total 4 months they have the time to return the bills. Okay. If not written within, means in beginning, in first time 3 months, within a second time within a 1 month, then bill goes to the governor for approval, because this legislative assembly is going to consider that they have given the approval, then it will going to send to the governor for the approval. Council can only delay a bill for maximum 4 months. No veto powers has the council. Means veto means to cancel the things, to cancel something. It is the supreme power, veto means. Okay, they didn't have. Okay, here it is Suvarna Sauda, right? One session we will going to conduct in our Suvarna Sauda. That is what winter season we will going to conduct here. Monsoon we will going to conduct in a Bengaluru. Okay, now come to the financial powers and functions of the legislative assembly. So financial bill must be introduced first in a legislative assembly only. After assembly passes it, sent to the legislative council for approval. Council must return the bill within a 14 days. It is very important. 14 days only they have the time, within that they have to return. If it is financial bill. Remaining others bill, they have the first time they can return it within a 3 months, second time they can return it within a 1 month. But this one financial bill, they have to only time is what, 14 days, within that they have to return it. If not written within a 14 days, bill will going to consider passed by the both the houses, and council can only has to delay the bill for the 14 days. No other financial power has the council. Within a 14 days they are not going to return, then it will going to consider both the houses has given the approval, then it will going to send to the governors. Okay, now come to the electoral powers of the legislative assembly. Electoral powers means whom they are going to elect. Legislative assembly members can elect President of India, Rajya Sabha members, legislative council members means MLCs. Okay, yeah, upper house of the states, and they can elect speaker and deputy speakers of the legislative assembly. Okay, now move to the constitutional amendment powers. Some amendments need approval from half of the state legislature. For example, 122nd amendment on GST, goods and service taxes, on that it is needed. That time all the states, as means more than half states, they have given the approval for it. Okay, and other powers, what are the powers they have? Assembly can discuss the reports from the state public service commission, backward classes commission, women commission, and other commissions. Okay, now move to the legislative council, upper house. Strength of the legislative council is 1/3 of that particular state's legislative assembly, but not less than 40 members. But in Telangana we have the 40, and in Karnataka we have the 75 members. 1/3 of 224 is 75 only. Members represent 5 fields. One is means MLCs, legislative council members. They can elected by the legislative assembly members, one thing. Second thing, they can represent by the local bodies. Local bodies means like Jilla Panchayat, Taluka Panchayat, municipalities. Okay. Graduates constituencies, graduates means those who have completed the degree, they can elect. Teachers constituency means teachers can vote for them, their separate constituency will be there. Okay, then fifth one is some members of the legislative council is going to nominated by the governor, and there they should be contributed in art, science, literature, education, social service, and cooperation. Okay, this is the thing you have to remember. Now move to the it is going to consider as a permanent body because one third of members will going to retire every 2 years. One third of the members. Okay. Chairperson elected by the members and leads the proceeding, means you will going to uh, take care of the proceedings, means while the making of laws, no, that time. Okay. Chairperson maintains order, dignity. He can summons a postpone meetings, safeguards members' rights and costs, deciding vote if tied. Okay. So chairperson means like a speaker. Okay. He is going to elected by the members only. Okay. And he can these all things. He is the rule of the chairperson. It is, yeah, speakers. Okay. Now move to the next qualifications of the MLAs. Citizen of India, minimum age is 30 years. Okay, MLCs means like a Rajya Sabha members in a union. Yeah, means legislative council means like a Rajya Sabha. So over there also the citizen of India, their qualification and 30 years, should not be hold any office of profit, not sentenced to the imprisonment, no mental illness, not bankrupt, must meet parliament's requirements. Okay, sorry, requirements. Okay, now move to the qualification got. Now move to the term and retirement. Term of nominated members is 6 years. Before that also they can resign, and one third members retired every years. Okay, chairperson and deputy chairperson already we came to know. Elected from the members, maintain order, dignity. Okay, already we came to know about this one. Okay, now move to the next. State executive. State executive. We'll come to know about that. In a state executive, in the state executive, okay, now it will be going to about what? State executive. In the state executive will be there first, it is governor only, itself the governor only. So we will come to know about first governor. Governor's qualification must be citizen of India. Must means governor means like a president. Governor means like a president. Okay, because he was going to appointed by the president on behalf of him only to look after the state administration. Okay. So he must be the citizen of India, must be 35, at least 35 years of old, must not hold any office of profit under the government, must not be a member of the parliament or state legislature. Not even the member of the parliament, means both the houses of the parliament and here in a state legislature also. If once appointed as a governor while being a member, he or she must be resigned from the legislative post. If suppose he may be the member, okay, of any houses, then he should be resigned to his post before he will going to appointed as a governor. Okay, this is what the qualifications. Now move to the term of office. Once you are appointed, he will be there in a 5 years. Governor can resign before his completion of the, okay, and that resignation should be submitted to the president of India. Okay, if before he wants to resign for his post, then because he will going to appointed by the president and resign also, he will going to submit his resignation to the president only. Okay, now move to the salary. Oh, and who is going to pay his salary? He is going to receive the salary and allowance as fixed by the parliament. Okay, lives in the official residence called the Rajya Bhavan. President Rashtrapati Bhavan in the New Delhi, and Rajya Bhavan will be there in a state. Our Karnataka in a Bengaluru located. Okay, during the tenure, yeah, in the official means when he will be there, no, those 5 years, no, the governor's actions cannot be questioned in any court. Okay, cannot be prosecuted in any court of law. Okay, now move to the next point is powers and functions of the governor. Although the governor is the constitutional head of the state, the chief minister and the council of ministers are the exercise most powers in practice. Okay. Governor has some important executive, legislative, financial and judicial powers. So first will becomes about his executive powers and functions. The governor is the head of the executive of the state. He can appoint the chief ministers, and on the advice of the chief minister he can appoint even the other ministers also. Okay. He can appoint the chairman and members of the state public service commission, along with the state commissions for the women, state commission for protection of child rights, state commission for backward classes, and he is the counselor of the all the state universities, and he has the power to appoint the vice chancellors. Okay, vice chancellors of the all the universities of the states. Okay. Next will becomes legislative powers and functions. He can summon a postpone or dissolve the state legislative assembly on the CM's advice. Okay, he can postpone the things. He can even the dissolve the state legislative assembly on the advice on the CM. Now how the president will be in a union, no, like that here governor he can dissolve. He can nominate the members to the legislative council. It is already we have come to know. Okay, now move to the next. He without his sign bill will not going to pass. Okay, all the bills should be need the sign of his, then only it become the laws. So while he is saying the bills, no, that time he can return a bill for the reconsideration. He can withhold or reserve a bill for the president's consideration. He can send, if suppose he can return the bill, if suppose he wants he can send the bill to the president also for his consideration, and he can reject the bills also. These are the powers he has in a as a legislative powers. Now move to the financial powers and functions. Financial bill cannot be introduced in the legislative assembly without the governor's approval. Before they are going to introduce the bill in a finance means legislative assembly, they should be get a approval from the governor. And he can appoint the state finance commission members and chairmen. He can appoint the state planning boards also. And he can manage the state emergency fund to use during the emergency such as droughts, flood, earthquake, etc. Okay. Now move to the judicial powers and functions. He can grant pardon means excuses, and he can reduce and he can postpone or change the punishment for crimes under the state laws. Okay, like the president has over there, same he has in a state. He can appoint the advocate general of the state, and he can appoint the district judges. Okay. So very important it is related to judges. Judges will means judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts will going to appointed by the president. District Court judge will going to appointed by the governor. Okay, now come to the discretionary powers means he can do it. These powers are the powers governor can exercise without the advice of the council of ministers. Remaining those powers are there no on the means advice of the council of ministers only. Most of the time they are going to do it. Means these are the there are there no these powers they can exercise without the advice of the councils of ministers. What they can do, they can withhold the bills. The governor may withhold a bill passed by the state legislature and send it to the president for the consideration. First power. Then along with that, emergency recommendations also there. In case of the failure of the constitutional machinery means in the state government, the government is not working properly, that time he can advise to the recommend to the president for the presidential rule means state emergency. That time when the president rule will be there in a state, that time governor will going to take care over the state's administration. Okay, state administration. Now come to the dismissal of the cabinet, dissolve the assembly by the governor. When he can dismiss the state cabinets, he can dissolve the legislative assembly only, especially when no party can be form a stable government. Okay, that time. Okay, now come to the next, state council of ministers. State council of ministers. So ministers, the council of ministers is provided by the Indian constitution to help the governor in administration. It is headed by the chief minister. The council is responsible to the state legislative assembly. It acts as the real executive while the governor is the nominal executive. Okay. Functions of the councils of ministers: formulates and implements the government policies, prepares and presents the state budget, advise the governor on appointments such as chairman and members of the state public service commission. Okay. Yeah, they can advise to the one more thing is one this one, appointment of the lokayukt, the appointment on the lokayukt also. Okay, lokayukt also. Now move to the next. Other key posts ensures efficient functioning of all the departments, coordinates and supervising various government departments. Okay, now move to the chief minister. His role: the chief minister, SCM, is the head of the state government. He can act as a head of the council of ministers, leader of the state legislature, leader of the majority party in the assembly. Okay. Constitutional requirements: must be a citizen, means qualification. Okay, must be a member of the either houses of the state, okay, of the legislature. If you are not going to member, then he must be elected either, yeah, any houses within a 6 months of this appointment. Okay. Functions and powers of the chief minister: he can recommends to the governor to the formation of the cabinet, advise on the portfolio allocation, means it means what, assigning the departments to the ministers responsibilities, can recommend the removal of the disloyal or ineffective ministers. He can play a key role in the policy making and the decision making. Okay, next, he can summon or postpone the cabinet meetings. He can summon, cancel, he can postpone the cabinet meetings. He can supervise and coordinates the work across all the departments. Can recommend dissolution or dissolve of the legislative assembly. He can act as a link between the governor and the council of ministers. Between the governor and ministers, he is a work like a bridge. He can advise the governor on key appointments in the state. Okay. So other points means advocate general means what, is the highest law officer of the state, and SITK means State Institute for the Transformation of the Karnataka, means it is a new name for the state planning board. Okay. Along with that, we will get the CM list also if you are going to visit this website. Okay, get the. So I hope, my dear, you understood the lesson. If you have any doubt, any suggestion, then please comment, and to like and subscribe my channel and share this video among your friends. Thank you so much for watching this video, my dears. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.